Hello, my name is ChrisTenarium, and today we're playing A2A. I know practically nothing about the game. It's about music. Someone's dad's died. And as we can see, it clearly features a closet lesbian and a guy the hippies would hate because he's wearing a suit. So, what are we going to do? It's going to be different to part one of most playthroughs. I'm going to play through for half an hour. Let me know if you guys want to see more. Simple as that. Now let's get this half an hour cracking, shall we? Oh, this is a slight change from what I imagined. I'm not saying Donny D usually hires the best henchmen, but this new guy would be bad by anyone's standards. Any 200-pound fuck who thinks he can hide behind telephone poles. Oh dear. No one does that apart from cartoons. Really shouldn't have passed the screening process. Not to mention it takes him 9 blocks to finally jump me, even though I make the point of walking as slowly as possible. Oh, he's a better fighter than the Stalker, I'll give him that. His first blow knocks all the wind out of my stomach. Wait, you're fighting? Brilliant, okay. It's going to turn into a quick time event. The second slams me face first into the asphalt. Where's the money song? But she seems rather dismissive considering they're beating her up for money. I spit out a gritty mix of gravel and blood, oh my god, then smash my leg into the new guy's kneecaps. He stumbles back with a curse. We grapple for several seconds before I finally shove him onto the ground. This just sounds like the beginning of kinky sex. Squinty-eyed, yellow-faced kicks. I kick him down before he can finish what he was going to say. I've heard it enough times before. People aren't that original, I guess. Why is this... Is that really the best insult you can think of? Something about the shape of my eyes and the colour of my skin. Well, aren't you witty? I give Mr. Witty another kick to show my appreciation. Tell Donny I'll pay him in 2 months. This time for sure. I just need some more time, got it? I don't think these are the kind of guys you can negotiate with. Boss says he's done giving you more time. He says he only gave you the loan in the first place because your old man was supposed to be loaded. Guess you can never trust a I grind my foot into his stomach before he's gasping. Fucking hell, maybe I should put a plus 18 on before this game starts. What the fuck is this? I expected something light-hearted. Tell him it's 2 months or nothing. There's just some things I need to do first. Oh yeah, like what? As if on cue, my cell phone rings. New guy shoots me a look of disbelief as I take the call. Wait. Yeah, I'm on my way. Yeah, I know I'm late, whatever. I shove the phone back into my jeans, then nonchalantly step back. The thug scrambles onto his feet, fists clenching, ready for another fight. Save it for later, pal. As much as I'd love to keep pounding you into the pavement, I've got to go. I've got orchestra practice today. You don't look like the kind of person who'd do orchestra, if I may say so myself. Orchestra? For real? He laughs so hard that he drops his fighting stance and clutches at his sides instead. Rolling my eyes, I start walking away. He can laugh all he wants. As far as I'm concerned, our conversation is over. Bah! Yeah, go play your violin like a little good China girl. Go redeem your family honour and all that crap. Ha 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 ha! Oh, bastard. Well, almost over. Swinging round, I sock him in the stomach as hard as I can. Oof. He goes down like a bag of bricks. I do a mock bow over his body just for spite. Okay, now it's over. Brilliant. Oh, and there's an intro. Of course there is. We'll look at the intro before clicking on the skip intro button. Is this it? Yeah, okay, we'll skip intro. If you can skip... You can't skip the intro? Really? Finally! No, fuck off. You don't want your settings. No one cares about you. The practice hall for the community orchestra is more on the upscale side of town. So I get a lot of funny looks as I come down the street. Is this a painting or is this a photo which someone's gone weirdly done? Yeah, it looks like a photo. Men in polo shirts doing double takes. Housewives locking their car doors. Heck, one woman even herds her kids away when she spots me. How judgmental, damn them. I mean, it's like they don't want to be spotted with a peasant or something. Jeez, lady, what do you think I'm going to do to your brat? Roast him on a spit and eat him? Yeah, force him to play rock music and rebel against the horrible politicians of society. That's what I'm gonna do. When I started coming here for practice, One of the orchestra members discreetly took me aside. I wasn't too surprised that she asked me to consider switching to a more, normal appearance. And she wasn't too happy when I told her this is how I, normally look. Yeah, you get it, girl. Pip hand! That's the way to do it. I let her go on for a while about how important it was for me, the orchestra's new owner and manager, to set up a professional example by following a formal dress code and all that jazz. It wasn't until she started saying that my father always did that I finally cut her off. I didn't need her or anyone else to tell me that. Master conductor William Song, acclaimed musical maestro and local celebrity, would have kicked anyone who came out of work with so much as a wrinkled tie. Okay, so her old man's dead, and this is her orchestra. This is his orchestra, which she's now going to. Gotcha. Even when I was a child, he'd make me iron my own school uniform twice a day and throw out any skirts that didn't reach my knees. If that car crash hadn't killed him, seeing someone like me in charge of his beloved orchestra probably would have. After all, I'm the kind of girl people would expect to see rocking out at a punk concert, not conducting piano concertos, and that's just the way I like it. I'd personally adapt to the situation, but that's just me. Little Sona Song and her daddy Fancy Pants Orchestra, ha! That's the last thing I'd want to be remembered for. Farther down the street I see more people standing around trying to look like they're not gawking, though for once their focus surprisingly isn't on me. Ah! The man who the hippies would kill because he's wearing a suit. Did he just blink? Oh my god, he just blinks. Wow, interactive people, damn you. His index finger looks very odd. Oh no. I'm pretty sure fingers don't detach from the thumb like that, but sure. This time it's on an elegant young man standing in the middle of the sidewalk pavement. It's a pavement, damn you. Holding a briefcase in one hand and studying a map in the other. Even in a swanky neighborhood like this, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone else like this, well-dressed. Expensive silk suits, perfectly straight tie, hair slicked back without one strand out of place. The orchestra girl who lectured me about professionalism would swoon all over this guy. We're going to end up meeting him later. Bound to be. He's definitely the type my father would have approved of. Humph. I pass him without a second glance. To my surprise, he calls out in Chinese. I don't read Chinese, unfortunately. Hooker, sucker, looker. That's probably what it says. If he's Chinese, he's probably talking to me. Ugh, this isn't always awkward. It's one thing to get crap about Chinese American stereotypes from random idiots. It's another to get a Chinese people approaching me, expecting someone who'll understand everything they say, and inevitably being disappointed when I only know a few words. For some reason, that second group always seems worse. At least I can pummel the first into submission without feeling guilty. The man calls out again. Right. I don't know what that means. Ignore him, try to act polite to him, be rude to him. We're gonna act polite. I mean, it's only fair. I sigh. Guess I should at least make the effort to tell him I don't know Chinese. I know speak Chinese. I thought you said you knew a few words of Chinese! I know speak Chinese is like an English person going to Spanish and asking for a lollipop by saying, yeah, lollipop, mate, yeah, like, lollipop, yeah? Nothing the same. Shoot, what's the Chinese word for Chinese? Songweng? No, speak Songweng, sorry. That'll be 100 times more helpful. The man nods emphatically, then points at himself. Yeah, he didn't understand me at all. I'm, just gonna go now. No Songwen, sorry. Why does there have to be some foreign language in every visual novel I play? I just butcher it, for God's sake. Giving him an apologetic wave, I keep walking and don't stop until I'm inside the building. Once I enter the practice room, I'm swarmed by the entire orchestra at once. Sony, you're finally here! Why on earth were you late again? An oboe asked me, did they? Okay, so it's the choir of the magical talking instruments. Brilliant. Oh, you know me. I like to make an entrance. No, that's Will Smith's line from Independence Day. You don't get to fucking say that. But oh, brilliant! And now a magical flute is speaking to me. Oh, but we've been waiting for. Eek! What happened to your face? Whoa, what's wrong with my face? My face is fine. There's a piercing in it, but deal with it. Or are they being racist because I'm Chinese? Ah, they're on our smiting list. Ha! What about my face? It takes me a second to realise there's something sticky on my cheek. Yeah, the gangster earlier was definitely just being kinky. Oh right, that's blood. My blood probably. Really kinky. I scrub it off with my back of my hand. Oh, you know, just my weekly drug deal gone wrong and ensuing gunfight. No biggie. Everyone stares at me speechlessly. No one gets my jokes around here. Now a magical cello speaking to me. I should probably stop those drugs. Okay, so about the upcoming Valentine's Day's concert. Have you decided what pieces we should play yet? Your own instruments, hopefully. Nope. The musician exchange nervous glances with one another. One of them finally musters the courage to speak up. But we only have 2 months left before the concert. We need to finalise our set list as soon as possible. Yeah, you do that. Didn't I already say you can pick whatever you want? Maybe something by an old European dead guy. I hear they're popular. More nervous glances. I guess everyone is used to blindly following my father's orders, instead of actually making their own decisions. Ever since my father posthumously put me in charge, they've been expecting me to step into his own shoes. In truth, I can't think of anyone less suited for the job. Brilliant. So that's the reason I'm here. Okay. When wasn't I able to So I'm paying back the debt I owe to thugs once the concert's been done. I'm confused. Seriously, if my father had actually known me before he died, he never would have entrusted me with his precious orchestra in the first place. So he didn't know you. How did he get the will to you to do this? As it was, we hadn't spoken in years before his accident, so I was shocked as everyone else by the contents of his will. Yes, my father donated half his fortune to the Beijing Music Academy, but that wasn't the shocking part. The real surprise is that he gave the other half to me, his estranged but only child, on one condition. Take over my father's latest pet project, the new community orchestra he founded, and attend their daily practices. If I'm a good little girl who never misses practice, I'll get a new lump of money on the day of each concert he's scheduled. Can't I just lie? I mean, he's dead. It's not like he's around to see that, is it? Oh, no, you can do this! Because there was a wife who married a very rich guy. And he could only take up a husband's... Because she hated him smoking. She could only take up her husband's will and money if she smoked 5 cigars a day. Oh dear, he must have had a sense of humour. But yeah, you can do that. Allayed are my fears. So that's why I'm here now, as uninterested and out of place as I am. Why else would I take charge of a bunch of musicians I don't want to be around, and who probably don't want me to be around either? It sounds crass, but there's no use in denying it. As little as I want to do with my father's orchestra, I want everything to do with his money. Ever since I left home, I've been sinking deeper and deeper into debt. That money could change everything. Luckily, my father's condition shouldn't be too hard to fulfill. His will only instructed for me to show up at practices after all. It never said I actually had to do anything while I'm here. Now we're playing it like this, are we? Okay. Of course, I've been exploiting that little loophole for all it's worth. And Sona, how's the situation with hiring the new conductor? Not to rush you or anything like that, but can we ask if you found anyone yet? No one can replace Mr. Song, of course. But at this point, anyone with at least some experience would be better than nothing. We can't go on without a proper... I interrupt them with an exaggerated yawn. Oh, what do you know? It's time for my nap. Wake me up when you're about to leave, and try not to play too loud. Oh, brilliant. So Sona is a wanker. Gotcha. I saunter over to the piano and bury my head in my arms, right on top of my keys. Or the keys. As usual, none of the orchestra members dare to stop me. Reluctantly, they return to their chairs to tune their instruments. After several minutes, their strains of... Mendelssohn, it's probably that, symphony fill the room. Is this copyright? I don't know. I'll mute it if necessary, it's fine. I try to ignore the song at first, but it becomes harder and harder to tune out. I can actually feel the head of my... The head of my what? Feel my head beginning to throb from the noise. It's pretty decent. Even if it sounds they got a recording of a 1950s gramophone. I know they're new and everything, but they sound terrible. Not that I care if they bomb the concert, that's their problem. Terrible really though? They sound quite good. But if they're playing so badly that I can't even fall asleep, it really pisses me off. Maybe I should tell them to try. Maybe I should try to find a new conductor after all. Help the orchestra. Damn, she's a bitch. We're gonna make her a nice bitch, so to speak. The orchestra's obviously gonna keep sounding terrible if they don't have a good conductor. I guess I'll go see if I can hire one after all. Dealing with those snooty conductor types annoys the crap out of me though, and I can't be bothered to get up right now either. So maybe later. Satisfied with the decision, I settle in for a nice long nap. That's like doing schoolwork, isn't it? Well, I've decided to do it, so I'll take a nap and do it later. No one does that. And, well, everyone does that. I think that's the point. Of course, that's exactly when the door flies open with a bang. Oh, God. Loads of Chinese. Huh? No way. I rub my eyes once, then twice to make sure I'm seeing straight, but there's no doubt about it. That's the same well-dressed man I passed by earlier. Only now he's standing in my doorway, barking out incomprehensible strings of Chinese at the top of his lungs. The intensity in his eyes nearly takes back my breath away. Don't tell me he followed me all the way here because I blew him off before. Still smouldering, the man slams the door shut, shaking the room on its foundations. As he marches over, I leap to my feet, only to realise that he wasn't headed for me at all. Instead, he zeroes in on one of the violinists in the front, who tries in vain to hide behind her music stand. Can I help you, sir? Are you lost? Oh, God. What the hell? Is he trying to do a dinosaur in a lighthouse spotlight? Come on, what is that right hand about? I'm so sorry, I can't understand anything you're saying. Please don't yell. Scowling, the man wrenches the bow out of her hand and slices it through the air like a madman. The violinist whimpers in fear. Hey, you can't just barge in here when we're having a practice session. He has. The man swerves around, glaring at the musician who just called him out. Oh, God. More Chinese. A terrified trumpet player makes a break for the exit. Without batting an eye, the man catches him with a single hand and shoves him back to his chair. More Chinese. Everyone immediately starts to panic. This guy's insane. Why won't he let people leave? Does anyone know what he's saying? Someone call the police, or a translator, or both. More Chinese. Song. Wait a sec, it sounds like he's saying something. Something song. Maybe he's looking for Sona. All eyes in the room instantly turn to me, including the crazy Chinese guys, which instantly go wide in recognition. Okay. Crap. The man closes the distance between us and in just a few strides. I quickly grab the first weapon I can find, a metal music stand and an empty cello case. You're not going to do a lot with that apart from murder him. I might have jumped the gun, though, because the man's face softens once he reaches me. Extending his hands, he nods politely and continues talking. Song. You know, those people speaking Chinese are having a fucking field day. Song. Unsure of what the man is saying, I hang firmly onto my makeshift weapons. Though he seems friendly enough, I think I know why he's only talking nicely to me. Even with my piercings and dyed-blued hair, I'm the only one in this orchestra with a face like his. He doesn't even look that Chinese. I mean, neither do I, for that matter. He has yet to realise that I don't speak his language. That, on the inside, I'm just as different from him as everyone else here. It's best to get over this quickly. Who is he, Sona? Is he a friend of yours? I snort to spite myself. A guy like this? You're kidding, right? Then maybe he's a friend of Mr. Song's. Mr. Song was the only one here who could speak Chinese after all. There's a moment of heavy, somber silence. The Chinese guy looks expectantly at me, his hand still outstretched. As I thought before, he does look like the kind of person my father would have associated with. And it's all slipping into plan. All I can do is hold in a sigh. Okay, practice is over for today. Everyone go home. But Sona, is it really okay to leave you alone with... I said go! I'll handle this! Yeah, we're going to smite him. No one wastes their time in packing up. They abandon their instruments on their chairs or the floor, then scurry out as fast as they can. The Chinese man tries to stop them, but I yank him back before he can do anything. You're looking for my father, right, Mr. Song? Shooting me a reproachful look, the man pries my fingers off his tie. He carefully straightens the fabric before nodding. Oh god, are we going to have to break the news that Dad's dead? Oh no. Song, that's all I understand. I definitely heard him say song again. There's no doubt that he knows my father, or knew my father, if you want to be precise. If he hasn't heard about the accident at all, I'm not really sure how to break the news. Well, Mr. Song is dead, so you should go home too. Somehow I don't think he'd understand that, but when she said how to break the news, I didn't think that's quite what she had in mind. Sorry. The words come out flat and curt, even for me. Not knowing else what to do, I head for the door. The man catches me by my hand before I can reach it. Yeah, still saying the word song. Song again. He didn't understand me at all, did he? Mr. Song is dead. Gone. Bye. Zaijian. Zaijian. That's one of the Chinese phrases I still remember. Probably because it's something I said over and over again. Zaijian. Goodbye. What does that mean? The man frowns, though I'm not sure whether it's in general confusion or at my poor pronunciation. Quite possibly the latter. I pretend I didn't see the look of disappointment spreading over his face. It's probably general confusion. He's not that update, I imagine. Instead, I mimic tying a noose around my neck. Mr. Song is dead. No more Mr. Song, okay? Go home. Zaijian. Still frowning, the man opens his briefcase. He rifles through several sheets of music and letters before pulling out a neatly folded newspaper. I can't read the Chinese print, but the only thing that matters is a large photo on the front page. In it, my father is standing on the conductor's podium in front of an orchestra. He has one hand on the shoulder of a man next to him, a younger, happily smiling version of the man in front of me now. This guy can't be much older than me, so maybe he has a student of my father's in China. Was a student, even. Maybe my father invited him to visit before he died. Probably that, isn't it? Guess no one knew to tell him what happened before he came. The man presses a finger against the image of my father. Wu Jian is the new word. What the hell does that mean? He draws out his words, long and slow. Like he's speaking to a child. He's unmistakably saying my father's name in Chinese, so I nod. Right, William Song. Song Wu Jian. Ah, Wu Jian is William in Chinese. Got you. Well, I find it weird how the Chinese are referring to Chinese as Chinese when it's actually Mandarin, but sure. Next, he indicates his own image, then points at himself. Hao Yin Le Hao. I don't know what that means. That's you. Yin Le Hao. Right, so Yin Le Hao. The man nods in acknowledgement. Then he points at me. Sona. That's the one. He rolls my name around his tongue several times. He doesn't ask for my last name and I don't bother to give it. Instead, he points again at the picture of my father, then sweeps his hand through the air. When he speaks, he carefully enunciates his words, still gesturing around the room. Song Wu Jian. I assume that means is he around. I know he's asking for my father again. I don't know else what to say. So I point at the picture. I repeat my father's name. Then I take the newspaper and rip it to shreds. Wow, what a lovely way of showing him instead of fucking drawing it. Damn, Sona's a bit of a... I was about to say the word again. Bastard. Oh, he's angry. I toss the torn up pieces onto the floor. Hao lunges after them. I watch him passively as he sinks to his knees, frantically scooping paper fragments into his hands. Zaijian, Song Wu Jian. As he slowly rises to his feet, Hao's face is twisted by the darkest, most murderous scowl I have ever seen. I meet his gaze without flinching, then draw my finger like a knife across my neck. Zaijian, Song Wu Jian, goodbye for good. At last, Hao's eyes widen in understanding. Trembling, he carefully reverently places the remains of the photo in his briefcase, then bowls his head towards the ground. His eyes go bright with contained tears, but he doesn't make a sound. After several minutes of solemn silence, there's a sharp click. I look up to see Hal snapping his briefcase shut. He methodically dusts off his suit, straightens his tie, and walks out without saying a word. The slam of the door, though, resounds throughout the entire room. Sighing, I release the breath I hadn't realized I'd been holding. For several minutes? Damn. Zaijian to you, Hao. Just like Song Wu Jian, I guess, and I never meet you again. I didn't remember this at that time, but the literal translation for Zaijian isn't goodbye for good. It's actually see you again. Oh, brilliant, so he's going to come back. Right, well, I'm going to leave it here. It's close enough to half an hour, 26 odd minutes, I reckon. Do let me know if you guys would like to see more of this. My name's ChrisTenarium. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.